Hey everyone, this is Jen Gross. I am Fun Stamper Journey Coach 586, and I am bringing to you today a technique which is multi-layer stamping, and I'm going to show you a way that you can make it easy for you to do it and not have to take, it's a lot of guesswork sometimes when you get those multi-level stamps. So this is a card I made with our pretty daisies, and as you can see, the stamps lined up they lined up pretty good. It's not too bad. So I want to show you the stamp set here. This is our Pretty Daisies. It is SS0551. It is a hostess benefit. So somebody who hosts a party of $300 has an opportunity to purchase this as a hostess benefit. It has the leaves and then the flowers along with the middle of the flower too. So this is what the stamp set looks like. Oops. Get those Journey foam square things all over. So what I'm going to show you is what I did to kind of line it up. And here is one that I also did. It lined up pretty well. You're not going to get a good lineup every time, but if you want to get as close as you can, I'm going to show you a way to do that. So let me grab a little piece of paper here. I was trying to figure out how do I see where the stamp is going. And so my thought process is, you know what? I think what I need to do is stamp it out so I can see through it. And so you can barely see that one. I went ahead and I stamped on vellum each of these 3 flower pieces so I could see them. And I figured, you know, if I can see them on vellum, you can kind of see through them. But that wasn't quite what I expected. So I went ahead and I stamped again. That's Lemon Drop. This is, I think that's actually maybe Denim Days, and then this is Beach Ball, I believe, or Beach Breeze. It's one of the two. So I have the light, the medium, and the dark, and I did that on vellum. You'll see that I have grid lines here. Now that's really important. So what I did, I started out and I was looking at how do these line up and what do you see when you put them together. Well, I know that this has the smaller little piece at the top. So this piece here goes up at the top. This piece here goes towards the bottom. So I was using this as the top area. So I went ahead, overlaid the 2 pieces, and as you go there, you've got grid lines. It's gonna actually line up pretty good right there. So what I did at this point was, I knew this was the top. So I went ahead, set it down on the paper, which is our grid paper, and I went ahead and used a ruler and drew that line up and down. And then I went across and I drew a line across on one side of these. Since they matched up, I flipped it over and followed those same lines on the other side, up and down. So now you have a little piece of gridded stamped paper, so you know where it belongs, where the flowers belong. So then I put that one aside and came in with this next one. Now again, you're looking at the small one goes on the top, the larger piece, this one here goes on the bottom. It's the shadowing. So again, I already have the lines in there, but I played around with it until I actually found the right angle where you can see it lines up. So again, set it down, follow the lines, and draw on it. So now what you have is you have some gridded patterns. This is going to be cool because this is really going to help you. So how do you grid your stamp? Well, this is our silver washi. It is a very thin washi, and you can cut it into smaller strips. So I thought this would be an ideal medium to grid out my stamps. So here's what I did. So you have these already gridded out because you've matched them up. So what I do is this will be the notch for the top, and I go ahead and I lined it up, and I put the silver across and up and down to mark the grid. And I did that with each one of these. So I did that with this one. Again, here's the top. So again, you can see that grid is going across. And then the last one, same thing. So now you actually have gridded stamps. And what's cool about this is it's going to at least help you line them up as close as possible each time you try to do the stamping. So now that we have them gridded, let me show you how I did this little guy right here. So that is done in Lemon Drop. That is our lightest, Citrus Cooler, and then our Pumpkin Bread. So those are the 3 colors we're going to use for the actual flower. One thing I also did, let's see here, I have a little piece of tape. So that's going to hold it steady on the grid for me. So you see your line coming through, you see some lines coming up on the top. So let's start with our Lemon Drop, which is our base. We're going to go ahead. You can actually, we have our grids on our clear blocks, and those you can line up. My eyes are coming in at a different angle than yours, so it may not look exactly straight, but to me it does. So I've got that lined up. So we're going to go ahead and ink that up with Lemon Drop. And then we're going to go here on the grid. And it doesn't matter so much with this first one, but do not lift it up right away. This is where the trick comes in. A lot of times you're going to cut this flower out to use it, so go in with a pencil and just mark where those grid lines keep going. Do you see what I'm doing here? I'll show you as soon as I lift it up. So there, oops, there you go. Well, and if you miss one like I did, very easy. You've already got your grid there. Just go ahead and line up your stamp grid like that. And you can put your line there. So if you miss it, you can go back and do that. So that is our lightest one. That is Lemon Drop. So then the next one we're going to take is our Citrus Cooler. And that is going to be the one we're going to use with the little top of the flower, the middle of the flower at the top. Again, you've got your top lined up there. So eyeballing it, you can use the grid lines. You don't have to because you already have it marked now. So you see these markings here are going to be your guide to try to get as close to the multi-layer stamping that you can get. So we're going to take our Citrus Cooler, and you can see where the petals are, so you can kind of move it around a little bit. And I think that's where I'm going to go. If I'm over top of it, it's a little bit different than coming at it from the angle. But look, that's not bad. You're getting at least a good idea of where those flower petals are falling. So it's coming in relatively close. And that's great. You know, not everything is perfect in Mother Nature, and this doesn't have to be either. So then we're going to go ahead and we're going to take this one here with the little bit of the middle on the bottom. Again, you got your top lined up there. So let's go ahead and grid that up on our block. As so. And this one, we're using the Pumpkin Bread. So, and again, once you have that initial, you don't need the grid line so much after you have that initial one done. So I'm going to see where we're at right here. I'm going to try to line this up. And I think this is where I'm going to go. And I'm going to go down and I'm going to hold it. And let's see what happens. Not bad. Got all those petals relatively closely lined up with the shadows. So that works out really well. And now you've got these gridded stamps, so you know how to use them. Then I'm going to take this little guy. It's the middle of the stamen, or whatever you want to call it. And he is going to be done in hazelnut. So kind of, I like it going up like that. You see? Okay. So I go ahead and you just kind of eyeball it, stick them in there, and voila. So there you go. So hopefully that will help you line up your stamps and create some really gorgeous cards. I hope it doesn't intimidate you too much. This hopefully makes it a lot easier, but let me go ahead and show you these again so you actually see where the grids are falling on these particular stamps. Again, you can make it yourself, or you can kind of take a note as to where these lines are coming out and just kind of follow along. Again, there's the top, these are all with the top up here. So you can kind of see that silver grid line again. And then, yep. And then this last one. So that is my trick and tip to going ahead and working with the multi-layered stamps, light, medium, dark. Again, we did the lemon drop, the citrus cooler, and the pumpkin bread. And then we did this little guy in the hazelnut blend. Oops. And that is what we came up with. In those lines, you can erase, you can cut it out. And again, here's the card I created with that. I did a couple of different colors. I did what we did, and then I also did a blue version of that. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. I hope it helps you, and I can't wait to see what you create. Thanks so much, and have a great day crafting.